Hello, everyone. Let's discuss this question from October-November 2024, variant 1, 2. This particular question is of 5 marks in total and is divided into 3 parts. If you have a look at the question over here reads, in the study by Saavedra and Silverman, a boy was treated for a specific phobia. Identify the specific phobia the boy was being treated for. The command word over here is identify. This is a 1 mark question, super simple. If you know this study, you'd know that this study was about a boy being treated for button phobia. The technical term used for button phobia is compaunophobia. The word compauno is a Greek word, and phobia is an irrational fear of something. Now, when we talk about this particular study, if I take this opportunity to help you revise this a bit, this particular study was aimed to examine the treatment of a specific phobia, that is button phobia, in a 9-year-old boy. They used exposure-based cognitive behavioral therapy to treat the boy. This boy had an extreme fear of buttons, which interfered his daily life. Now, when we talk about button phobia, this is when this is a rare specific phobia where individuals experience intense anxiety or distress or even aversion when either seeing, touching, or even thinking about buttons. Now, taking this ahead, the second question, that is part B for this over here, says describe the feelings thermometer used in the study. If we speak about this feelings thermometer, what exactly was this? This feelings thermometer was a subjective rating scale that was used to measure the boy's level of distress and fear towards different type of buttons. This particular feelings thermometer was designed to track changes in his phobic response throughout the therapy. Now, how did it work? It worked. So what happened was the boy was supposed to rate his fear of different buttons on a scale ranging from 0 to 8, where 0 meant no distress at all and 8 meant extreme distress. This young boy, he created a hierarchy of feared buttons, ranking them based on how much anxiety they caused. For example, the small plastic buttons that had been used before were rated 8 out of 8, that is extreme distress or the most distressing, while larger buttons, he rated them low. Now, taking this ahead, describe the feelings thermometer used in this study. If I show you, this is a 2 mark question, and you get 1 mark for a correct point here. If we quickly have a look at the points that we already have received from the CIs, number one, this was a hierarchy of distress or fear or disgust. I already mentioned this. It measured the subjective feelings of distress of the boy about types of button. Why is it that we're using the word subjective feeling? Because the boy was rating this himself. And of course, this was opinion laden. Number three, on a 9 point scale ranging from 0 to 8, where 0 meant no distress and 8 was highest levels of distress. See, this is a 9 point scale because you're counting 0 as well. Now, the fourth point, there were 11 different buttons to rate. The fifth point, small denim jean buttons were rated a 3, for example. Now, this is a 2 mark question. You could simply pick up any 2 points of your choice. Just make sure they're correct and you receive your marks. To play safe, I'd advise you to write down 3 points if you can recall 3 points. Now, taking this ahead, identify 2 findings from the post-treatment session. Now, after the boy was treated, we need to identify 2 findings from here. The command word over here is identify, and this is a 2 mark question. Now, this young boy, he reported minimal distress about buttons. Number one. Number two, he no longer met the diagnostic and statistical manual of mental disorder criteria for phobia, and he no longer feared buttons. Number three, he could now wear clear plastic buttons that he was initially very anxious about. Number four, he could wear buttons on his school uniform shirt on a daily basis as well. So again, we have 4 points over here. Learn them real quick. If you get this particular question, you're expected to give any 2 findings, or rather say identify any 2 findings from the post-treatment session, right? Post-treatment session, in other words, after the treatment. Now, if you recall, immediately after the treatment, the boy was able to handle buttons with minimal distress, and his anxiety levels had significantly decreased. A 6-month follow up session showed that his fear had not returned, meaning the treatment had a longer lasting effect. What do we pick from this? This suggests that the exposure based cognitive behavioral therapy was successful in reducing his button phobia. I hope this was helpful. Thank you.